Hello everyone, this is Stefan from Lush and Salty, and this is one of my 5-gallon nano tanks. We'll start from away a little bit, 5 feet away or so, because I want you to see the emerged plants. I've got this awesome lily. I don't know its actual name, but it's literally growing where the filter media normally is. I know it's a water plant and I bought it as such. And these are basically all new leaves since when I got it. It grows quickly, a leaf dies, and then these others come up to replace it. On the other side of the filter, I put in a pothos leaf, which I clipped from this other group that is firmly entrenched on the side of this tank. You can see the whiter root stocks intermingled with the hanging, dangling roots from this excellent frog bit colony. So those are the emerged and floating plants on this lovely tank. I dig that. Now going underwater, forgiving my reflection. There, I'm gonna have to find a vantage point. I've got endlers, different species, wing-eye, wingy, wing-a, don't know the Japanese pronunciation. There's a black bar, or a more common black bar endler. There's a different variety. I have moved to endlers because they're smaller and a little bit more manageable than guppies, and so I've got a group of them in here, as well as a few oddball fish like a dwarf gourami and a couple pea puffers. Because I have such intense plant growth, they do just fine together. I do run CO2 in this tank, but honestly, at this point, I don't even think these plants would need it, and so I only do a very little bit of dosing of CO2. Now, what's cool is if we move down just over to here, this little jar that has a air stone and a nano heater also has a group of baby endlers that are growing incredibly fast. It's just guppy grass, a tiny sponge filter, some snails, and maybe a bit of moss as well. And the water's crystal clear, and there's about a dozen endlers, and they're getting so fat so fast. I can't wait to see which are males and which are females. I feed these hikari fry food and then tons of baby brine because I've been raising it non-stop. And so I'm super psyched to see what happens to these endlers. Because it's summertime, I'm getting great afternoon light, which is a non-issue as far as this little jar is concerned, because even if algae grew, I wouldn't care. But guess what? It isn't, because there's so many healthy plants in there absorbing the nutrients that might otherwise cause algae, and of course guppies, which will feed on algae. So all in all, this little fry tank is doing awesome. I've got it on this makeshift display, which was supposed to be sort of a breed out tank. If you go sideways, you'd lay those three, put the media in the corners there. I never made that happen, so I use it as kind of a weird shelf. I've got an odd little LED nano light, which will light up the bottom of this tank at night if I want to look and see how the fish are doing. And it also could hold other things if need be. So fish people are so resourceful. Real estate's at a premium, and we work with what we have. Excuse my finger there. These are two healthy cultures of Monte Carlo, a carpeting plant, and they're growing roots and becoming two mats. I would happily trade or even give some of this away to anyone who is in the Bay Area in Marin County or hits me up. Come on by, I'll give you some Monte Carlo. It's an awesome carpeting plant. Oh, and finally, here is some daphnia that I brought inside from my culture outside that's finally rocking and rolling. It does best for me in the summer because I can get lots of green water and some buckets, and I use that to feed them. The water doesn't get as frigid, and these daphnia are an incredible food source for any and all of my fish. So all of this activity takes place in a little kind of corner next to my seat. And obviously if we go the other direction, it's a whole bunch of other stories, and I'll get to those next time on Lush and Salty Aquariums. So remember, people, always keep your hands in the tank. Ciao for now.